In my previous life, I suffered from stomach cancer. As if battling a terminal illness wasn't enough, my husband betrayed me. And the person he cheated with? My so-called best friend. The cheating duo, panicking as their secret unraveled, wanted my insurance payout for themselves, so they pushed me off a building, and to cover their tracks, they staged my suicide. But this time, I woke up 10 years earlier. This time, I'll rewrite my destiny and take back what's mine. So, shall we begin? Dear bestie, why not just marry my husband already? Take my awful life as a bonus. Hey guys, I'm Amber. Let's dive into this brand new mindless guilty pleasure today. It's a remake of a Korean webtoon. Don't forget to hit follow and smash that like button first. Our heroine? Her name's Mesa. She was literally born to be a K-drama queen. Her dad died just a few years back. Her mom walked out on the family when she was just a kid. They had already passed away too. Her only family is her grandmother, who suffers from Alzheimer's. Other than that, Mesa has a best friend who's closer than family. T and Mesa have been friends since they were kids. You could say she's the most significant person in Mesa's life. They grew up together, went through school, work, and even marriage side by side. Then, Mesa was suddenly diagnosed with stomach cancer. Once she got sick, her husband, the jerk, vanished without a trace. Only T stuck by her side, visiting her regularly. Mesa could feel her days were numbered. She decided to confront her scumbag husband back at home. Little did she know, she'd walk in on her scumbag husband and T's affair. Even the insurance she had left for her grandma had been changed by the scumbag, making himself the sole beneficiary. Now, all they're waiting for is Mesa's death. They're just waiting to feast on her blood-stained fortune. Mesa's emotions completely crumbled on the spot. She believed she had the moral upper hand. She unleashed her anger, condemning them both. But instead, they turned the tables and gaslit her. The guy had the audacity to say, "I'm broke too. You're dying. Can't you think about how I feel being abandoned? How selfish can you be?" Even T showed no shame. "I've been taking care of you all my life. All because of one small mistake. You're cutting me off? How awful can you be?" Well, it's the end of the road anyway. Let me be blunt with you. I've hated you since we were kids. We were never truly friends. Mesa was left utterly speechless. Shameless? I've seen it. But this? Next level. Sick and furious, she stormed out the door. She grabbed her phone to expose their insurance scam. Chad bolted out, desperate to stop her. Her bag burst open, papers flying everywhere. Each stroke on the paper, clear as day. Mesa once cherished these two as the most important in her life. She had sincerely wished them happiness. And now? They were the ones taking her life. T just gave her a cold goodbye. In her final moments, Mesa finally had an awakening. Her life flashed before her eyes, like a tragic montage. After tying the knot, the scumbag showed his true colors. He became a lazy freeloader, using her like an ATM. T stole all the credit for her hard work, which got her thrown out of the company like trash. Their bad behavior didn't start today. It's been going on for a while. I was the one fooling myself, letting them get away with everything. Mesa woke up from a dream and found herself reborn. She went back 10 years to the past. At this point, Mesa, T, and her boyfriend Chad are colleagues at the same company. They're all working at the same company. Mesa was still haunted by the trauma of her death. She barely stepped outside and ran straight into the cheating pair. Terrified, she ran off in a panic. She spent half the day wandering aimlessly outside. She finally realized she's been sent back a whole decade. Now, she's in perfect health and loving every bite. Mid-meal, her boss G rang her up. She's got a presentation to deliver this afternoon. Rebirth doesn't mean hitting the jackpot. Even with a second chance, she's still grinding like before. Her memories from the past life hit her like a truck. This presentation? She bombed it back then, all because she was late. The outcome? A complete disaster. And the real culprit? T. She told herself the wrong location for the report. Mesa frantically dashed to the correct location. Almost at the building, she tripped and fell. That's when she realized history was repeating itself. Next, she'd get a broken keycard, and because of it, she'd miss the elevator. Then, she'd end up climbing 27 floors by foot. And finally, she'd botch the report. But this time, she remembered everything from before. Mesa made up her mind to rewrite her fate. She grabbed the undamaged key card just in time. She managed to slip into the elevator just in time. Inside, she bumped into a colleague, Suzuki. They swapped business cards like pros. Mesa found out Suzuki was the head of business strategy at Rentoya Holdings. Mesa showed up at the meeting right on time. Her plan was to pitch her company's product the usual way. Then it hit her. This product flopped back in the day. She now knows exactly which products will crush it in the future. So why not pitch a product that's destined to blow up? She immediately backtracked, claiming the idea wasn't ours. It was all about bubble tea. Bubble tea's destined to take over Tokyo someday. She went as far as suggesting a bubble tea theme park. Yet, the presentation failed miserably once again. Mesa faced Tomida's wrath for her last-minute switch. Thankfully, Manager G stepped in to save her. Mesa visited a dessert shop after work, lost in memories. The shop was run by an old friend of her father. She used to be a regular here. Mesa's father was a taxi driver. He had sworn to always come back and save Mesa if she was in danger. He'd return no matter what to protect his daughter. That's when Mesa remembered, before she was reborn, she once rode a strange taxi home. The driver handed her some candy before she got off. Mesa reached into her pocket, and yep, the candy was still there. She even found a tiny paper turtle, just like the ones her dad used to fold for her. Turns out, the driver was her father. Some mysterious force kept blessing her. 10 years later, her grandmother was completely lost to dementia. Even now, her grandmother still remembers her. After work, Mesa joined her boyfriend, Chad, and T at the bar. They were at the bar to watch a game with T's boyfriend. Mesa is now fully awakened. Mesa is rethinking everything about T. She realizes T has been puaing her non-stop. Mesa tried to avoid T but suddenly stood up. She accidentally bumped into someone holding beer and rushed to the restroom. Mesa regains her memories, and everything clicks into place. She remembers being bumped into by a waiter back then. And next, Japan will win the game. After that, the jerk will propose to her, and he'll use the chance to kiss her. History repeats itself, once again. Just as the jerk leans in for another kiss, Mesa, terrified, turns to the side, and the two guys accidentally end up kissing each other. Mesa dashes back home as fast as she can. It's been several days since Mesa's rebirth. Mesa is feeling restless and uneasy. She carefully examined the differences between her past life and her current one. She realized that fate still played out the same way. A failed plan, the waiter she accidentally ran into, the horrifying proposal. If things kept going this way, would she lose everything again in 10 years? Mesa looked lost and dazed. She was so distracted, she didn't even notice the water was boiling. As she was about to pick it up, out of nowhere, Suzuki rushed over. He knocked the kettle to the floor, and in the process, he burned himself. Mesa immediately rushed to treat his burn. At that moment, it finally hit her. Some things are just inevitable, but she could let it happen to someone else. All she needed was someone to take her place. Could this really be the key to changing her destiny? She finally figured out the solution. A daring plan began to take shape in Mesa's head. In my previous life, I was a naive fool who let villains walk all over me. But this time, I'm wide awake. If I don't get revenge and break free, then what's the point of living this life again? So Mesa played along and accepted the jerk's proposal. She secured her position for now. Next, she's ready to take the stage and turn the tables. So, how do I match T with the jerk? T already has a boyfriend right now, and he's the classic tall, rich, handsome type. Chad? A narcissist, arrogant, and a total mama's boy. He spends his days dreaming about overnight riches. He's got zero appeal. Like, none. Honestly, Chad's just hopeless. Though, give it 10 years, they'll totally end up together. But I've gotta speed things up for them. When he's in a good mood, he can actually be nice. Oh, and he plays football, so yeah, he's got decent stamina. Treat him like a normal guy, and you'll start expecting things from him. But if you see him as a wild card, like a spoiled dog that sulks and bites when it doesn't get its way, then why on earth would I marry someone like that? Mesa kept ranting while rewinding her memories, and finally remembered T's current Mr. Tall, rich, and handsome, was later exposed for having a longtime girlfriend. And in just a few months, they'd be history. Right then, Manager G just happened to walk by. Manager G is a fair and capable leader. She despises T, who constantly slacks off and steals credit. Earlier this morning, she gave her a stern scolding. Up next, T will fake an oops moment. She'll accidentally spill leftovers all over her. At the time, Mesa assumed it was just an accident. So it turns out, you did it on purpose. Mesa quickly pretended to step in and help. This time, the tray spilled all over Chad. T wasted no time blaming Mesa for it. Mesa realized deep down, nothing had actually changed. It was the same story, just a different person this time. This accident only convinced Mesa further that her replacement strategy was spot on. And it only made T and that jerk even closer. But that jerk? Absolutely shameless. He had the audacity to stop T from washing his clothes. Then he turned around and dumped it on Mesa. He reached out like a spoiled kid asking his parents for money. Mesa, of course, wasn't about to let him get away with it. She fired back, asking why the jerk's clothes were her responsibility. She clapped back, "This suit is yours, right?" For the first time, Mesa refused the jerk's demand. Her life was finally taking a different turn. To celebrate, Mesa treated herself at the dessert shop. It was the same dessert shop she used to visit. By chance, she bumped into Suzuki once more. Suzuki wasn't just any coworker. He was the boss's son and the company's future heir. They called him the rich kid heir. In her past life, Mesa didn't know him at all at work. This time, by chance, she found out they both shared a love for desserts. Mesa looked into it and jotted it down in her notebook. The two of them hit it off in no time. They were already planning to check out a cafe's grand opening this weekend. Mesa flipped through her schedule. That's when it hit her, this weekend was a big deal. In her last life, T lured her out on the excuse of a shopping trip. But in reality, it was a high school reunion. At the time, she had no clue why. Mesa endured 3 long years of non-stop bullying from her classmates. Even at the party, she couldn't escape the bullying. She hid in the bathroom, then fled in utter humiliation. This time around, Mesa decided to stay home and avoid the party altogether. But when she opened Facebook, something unexpected caught her eye. It was a DM from her old classmate, Tanabe. He said he doubted that she was the one who wrote that letter back then. Mesa began to wonder, what letter was he even talking about? It all started when she had just entered high school. That's when she first met Tanabe. T walked in and caught them right there. T called Tanabe gross and disgusting. She warned her to stay far away from him, but she turned around and got cozy with him instead. It was after this incident that everything changed. Mesa became the target of the entire class's bullying. Even Tanabe started ignoring her completely. Even a fool could figure it out. It was obviously T pulling the strings again. What's the point of going to a class reunion? I'm off to the cafe's opening party. And once again, bumped into Suzuki, same as last time. We hit it off again. But Mesa felt something was off. Suzuki, tall, rich, handsome. The dream package. Among the perfect guy. Too good to be true. Why does he keep randomly bumping into me? Me? I'm cursed with a trashy guy magnet aura. Wait, could he be a stalker? Or worse, a psycho? When they met for the very first time, Suzuki thought Mesa's scarf was hideous and didn't hold back. He felt bad and took her shopping to make up for it. They ended up buying a new scarf. When he found out Mesa was avoiding the class reunion, Suzuki handed her a cactus as a pep talk and told her, if you want to survive, grow some thorns. That's when Mesa finally made up her mind to strike back with her own thorns against the classmates who once made her life miserable. Mesa turned to her new colleague, Mirai. Mirai was the total opposite of Mesa in terms of personality. She never hesitated to call out unfairness. Once, in the restroom, she found herself without a sanitary pad. Mesa was the one who stepped in to help. That's how she ended up owing Mesa a favor. Mirai was clearly a total fashionista. Getting her help for a makeover? Totally the right move. The makeover mission kicked off instantly. A sleek black shawl jacket, a flowing dark green embroidered gown, and paired with her chic short hair, Mesa's entrance left everyone speechless. Before Mesa even showed up, T had been fanning the flames all day, and now she has the audacity to look this good. Her classmates wasted no time tearing into her, asking if she was trying to show off something. Someone sneered, "Mesa, you're still as awful as ever." Mesa fired back, asking why they all chose to isolate and bully her back in the day. The 3 girls started chiming in, revealing bits of the truth from back then. Turns out, T told everyone she and Tanabe were into each other, and Mesa, out of jealousy, started bullying her. She even wrote a letter threatening to accuse Tanabe of sexual harassment, and that's why everyone turned on Mesa. Seeing her lie about to be exposed, T, of course, stayed true to her scheming ways. "Oh, come on, let's not dwell on the past. I'm over it already." Mesa says she didn't do it? Then she didn't do it. Period. This punch? Packed with 20 years of T-powered rage. Mesa, no evidence? How are you even gonna respond? Luckily, the guy at the heart of the rumor, Tanabe, showed up. Right there, he cleared the air for everyone. First off, he said he never even liked tea. And then? He apologized to Mesa. He owned up, he believed the lies back then. In her last life, Mesa stayed silent. She didn't have the guts to fight back. But now? She's got their true colors figured out. These classmates? Total fakes. She gave them a public dressing down. Especially T, she got the worst of it. Mesa finished her speech and stormed out of the hall. And just outside, she bumped into Suzuki, again. What was Suzuki doing there? Turns out, Suzuki and Mesa weren't strangers. Suzuki was her senior back in school. They first met at school, all because of a little turtle. Since then, Suzuki couldn't help but notice her. He quietly watched over her from a distance. After graduation, they reunited at the same workplace. Mesa didn't remember him at all. Turns out, the tiny turtle from back then is living at Suzuki's place. Suzuki is hiding even more secrets. Catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Bye.